Visit CCGCastle.com and get 5% discount on your purchase with TCG Center 5 code. Check the description or visit CCG Castle for more. Hello and welcome back to Pokemon TCG Center. Today we'll be looking at the deck for the standard format, and today I decided to make and play with the Flareon EX. So the Flareon from the generation 170 HP Fire Pokemon, if you're not familiar with it. It's one of the evolution EX types that actually has been printed. And I should definitely say that this one actually have the strongest attack probably. That Blaze Ball can hit for 50 plus 20 more for each of your fire energy attached to your Flareon EX. So basically with 3 fire energies and Fighting Fury Belt you can hit for 120. And pretty much with 2 turns of attack you can knock out almost Wailord DX, I mean, but pretty much 240 damage on 2 times would be enough to knock out pretty much any EX Pokemon, even with Fighting Fury Belt in play. So I definitely like this card. Also, Flash Fire ability says that once during your turn, you might move a fire energy from one of your Pokemon in play to your Flareon. So basically, with the Max Elixirs, you can put those energies to the bench at 1 and just use Flash Fire and promote them to your active Flareon. For a backup attacker, I decided to run 2 of my Entei's with the double. It can have 2 tools attached on it, but it also have 2 pretty decent attack, the Flame Screen and the Hit Taker. But it's also non-EX attacker, and for those carbings and carbing breaks, you actually just don't want to waste time searching for those Hex Maniacs. You just want to have some respond on it, so I guess that Entei is pretty good. So the last 2 Pokemons in this deck are Shamings with the setup, so they're basically here for the setup, but they can also attack with discard turn just in case you need to use it. As you can see, this list actually runs some disruptive cards like a Hex Maniac, Crushing Hammer, and a Delinquent. That's the reason because I will try to play this deck as turbo disruptive deck. So basically you can have acceleration and you can have disrupting your opponent's hand and energy cards. So I think this is definitely very good. With Puzzle of Times you can definitely have strong plays right here. Even with Puzzle of Time you can have more than 4 Max Elixir, you can have more than 3 Crushing Hammers, you can have more than 1 Delinquent with the V-Seekers. So I definitely see a very good potential and very nice and fun play with this deck. So I'm running 3 Crushing Hammers. If you can get heads on the coin flip, you can actually discard one of your opponent energies from play. And I think that's definitely very good. Also, 1 Escape Rope is just here for avoiding that Jolteon. If Jolteon is actually active and if it hits you, you just need to have Escape Rope so you can actually respond on it. With the 4 copies of puzzles, you can do multiple times Escape Rope, so you don't need to worry about Jolteon. Having 4 Max Elixirs can actually help you to have turn 1 Flareon attack without problem. I mean, 1 Double Color Synergy and Max Elixir with the Flash Fire can actually allow you to hit for 70 or 80. 4 copies of Puzzle of Time, so you can actually have any kind of 2 item cards or any cards from your discard pile back into your hand if you play 2 of them. If you play 1, you can rearrange top 3 cards of your deck, so actually also not that bad. Having also 1 Super Road is very crucial right there because you just have like 6 Pokemons to attack and 10 energies that you want to recycle, so that's the reason why Super Road is definitely a good card in it. 3 Trainer's Mails didn't find the space for the 4th one, but if you want, you can definitely cut those Crushing Hammers and add more consistency like in Trainer's Mails and maybe even more fire energies, maybe even adding more tool cards. That's up to you. So you can definitely also do something like that. Of course, 4 Ultra Balls for searching your deck for the Pokemons, 4 V-Seekers. From supporter cards, there's 1 Delinquent. Discarding a Stadium card from play. If you do that, your opponent is forced to discard 3 cards from his hand. So that's definitely good. Same as the Hex Maniac, so you can actually shut down abilities. Lysander, times 1. 2 Ends and 4 Professor Sycamore. If you're looking on my other decks, you can probably notice that I'm running always like 2 Ends and 4 Professor Sycamores in only 90% of my deck. I don't know, I just managed to get the best draw support by playing 2 ants and 4 sycamores, and I just keep doing that over and over again. I also decide to take 1 teammates, just because when you suffer the knockout, you can actually take any 2 cards from your deck, put them into your hand. So that's just because I'm running those puzzle of times. Every time when I play deck with the puzzle of times, I love to play teammates, because teammates can actually give me pretty much everything. I can grab puzzles, I can grab any 2 cards that I really need, and I guess the teammates is just definitely one of the strongest supporter cards at this moment. Also 2 Scorched Earth, which can actually help you to accelerate a little bit more. 2 Fighting Fury Belts, 2 Float Stones. Why 2 Float Stones and only 2 Fighting Fury Belts? I guess having like 2 Fighting Fury Belts, 2 Float Stones is just balanced right there. Then again, I will just mention again Puzzle of Time. But 2 Float Stones are really crucial, especially for the turn 1, if you just want to have that maybe Flash Fire, Blaze Ball for like 110, if you just can find 2 Max Elixirs and maybe 1 Fire Energy attachment from your hand, you can actually retreat your Shaman or Ante from the active spot and go with your Flareon in the active for 110. But also Floatstone is definitely good when you suffer the knockout. You can actually maneuver by promoting your active Pokemon with a Floatstone, so you can actually later retreat. 12 energies in total. I decided to run 2 double Colress and 10 fire energies. Why 2 double Colress? Well, just because Shaman can Sky Return, but also Entei can use Hit Tackle for like 130, 140, which is definitely good. Just in case you actually want to attack with it, but also sometimes you might not be able to have that 3 energies in a single turn on your Flareon. There's no more Blacksmith, and that's just the reason why actually running double Colress energy, because with 1 double Colress energy attached on your active Flareon, and with something like Max Elixir, 1 energy to your benched Pokemon, and Flash Fire, you can actually attack for 70 or 80, so that's definitely a decent turn 1 damage in my opinion. As usual, if you're looking for any of these cards, you can find them on CCGCastle.com. You can find the link in my video description, so definitely check that. If you're new to the store, you can type TCG Center 5 code and you can get 5% on your first purchase, so definitely keep that in mind. I would definitely recommend you to check the store items. There you can find a lot of singles for standard, expanded, legacy. You can also find coins, sealed stuff, and products like Deans and any other stuff, so definitely check that. So let's do some gameplay so you can actually see this deck in the action. Alright, so let's take a look for this Flareon deck in the action. So I'm starting first, which is definitely a good sign, but I was not able to find 1 basic Pokemon. That means that my opponent can take 1 extra card, and let's see. The best start, I guess, is definitely Flareon EX, and there it is. I also have my Entei. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with the opening hand, to be honest. I can play Shaman for a lot of cards. I also have Lysander, so I might be able to Lysander one of my opponent's benched Pokemons, not sure yet. It will depend on what he played. I can definitely use that in my advantage. There's a combi, so probably I can actually Lysander his Pupkaboo on the bench. We'll go with my energy attachment and the Shaman for 4 cards, and let's see what I will get. A Hex Maniac, since I already played my Lysander. My opponent can actually play pretty much everything he wants. So for the next turn I have Hex Maniac, so I will try to shut down his ability. But right now he needs to find double Colress Energy and he needs to find Dimension Wall. So that's 2 cards that he actually needs to find. And also a lot of Pokemon, a lot of Night March Pokemon in his discard pile in order to one-hit knock out my Flareon EX, because right now I have 210 HP. And trust me, it's not that easy to knock out something with 210 HP. So there's a Firewall Leather. That Firewall Leather can actually give you actually 1 card when you knock it out. You can draw 1 extra card from top of your deck. So there's a double Colress Energy and Professor Sycamore for the 7. Oh, I see Puzzle of Time. So always good to see Puzzle of Time played for nothing. 4 Pokemons in the discard pile for my opponent, 2 Night March attackers, so that means that right now he can hit for 40. If he can find Dimension Wally, 2 more Joltics, 2 more combis, there's 1 more unknown. So second Farewell Letter, still no sign of the Shaman for my opponent, which is definitely bad for him. Again, without Dimension Wally, he is not going to be able to do any serious damage right here, but that can definitely be good for me, because I can actually knock out his Pupkaboo, and he's going to lose his attacker and double Chorus Energy. So that Battle Compressor will discard probably 2 more Lampents, maybe even some of other Night Marchers. So yeah, 1 more Joltik. So right now he have 5 Night Marchers in his discard pile and 3 in play. So that means that he have 8 Night Marches in total in play, which means that he have 4 left. And there's just 1 more Pupkaboo discarded with that Bell Compressor. And right now he played that Shaman for 4 extra cards of the setup. Alright, so there is a 7, 8, 9 Pokemons in total in his discard pile. And there's, if there's 2 puzzles, then he can actually grab any 2 cards from his discard pile. So he can grab Battle Compressor and maybe Wesby Queen. I will just assume that he don't have again that Dimension. Oh, he just looked the top 3 cards. That means that he does not have Dimension Wally. He can't attack right now. If he missed the turn 1 Dimension Wally, that's definitely a big thing for myself. So I'm going to play my Flash Fire right here. And I'm more than happy seeing that. I will play my Hex Maniac because I can shut down my opponent's ability, and that Blaze Ball, it's going to knock out my opponent Pupkaboo. He cannot play those Shamans for the setup. I'm going to draw 1 extra prize, or just 1 prize, not the extra. It's an Ultra Ball, it's definitely a good one. I will expect Combi in the active spot, probably. Oh, just a Joltik. Alright, so there is right now 6, 7 Night Marchers, so 140. It's the damage output he can do right now, and there's a teammate, so he can grab any 2 cards he wants, so he can definitely take double Chorus Energy and who knows what else. If I can find a V-Seeker, I will probably go with my V-Seeker for Lysander. Getting Heads and Crushing Hammer can actually give me the chance to discard energy attached to my opponent Joltik and take the 2 prize over those Shamans on the bench. I expect 140 damage this turn from my opponent, that's for sure, no doubt about that, so there's a Night March. But also if I can find maybe a Max Elixir, I might be able to attack with my Entei on the bench. So let's first see a Ultra Ball. And it's very hard for me to decide what 2 cards to discard. I will take a risk right here. And I will take another Shaman. I will actually Sky Return on this turn, probably, or maybe not yet. I'm still thinking. I guess the best option would be to go with my Entei right here, so I don't know yet what to do. Let's go with first setup just for the 3 cards. I'm still thinking what to do, and I just can't think what is the best option for me right now. I guess Puzzle of Time. That's the first thing that I can do. Alright, I will take a Trainer's Mail as a top 4 cards. Yeah, I want to Sky Return right here, that's for sure. That Sky Return is going to give me a knockout over my opponent, Joltik, but then I can also. Oh, I don't want to play Super Road right here. I will first actually draw a Trainer's Mail, then I will go with my Super Road. I'm going to promote into the active spot right there, probably Entei, because it's just one prize, it's not two prizes for my opponent without Lysander, so it's even better to get one prize instead of the two prizes to your opponent. Then again, I expect Westpicon right now in the active spot. It has for retreat, so I don't know why he forced those Night Marchers, to be honest. Two puzzles already played for my opponent, so he had two more puzzles left and two more double Chorus energy. So I need to get rid of those double Chorus energies, and once I can do that, I can actually avoid a threat from those Night Marchers. And there's a V-Seeker for the teammate, so he can grab any two cards right now in his deck. Hopefully one of his other puzzles is actually prized, or are actually prized, so there's a teammate. It's always nice to see two double Chorus energies and two puzzles in your opponent Night March discard pile. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, so 160 damage. It's enough to knock out my Entei. Then again, he pulled two cards. Oh, there's Escape Rope. Okay, I didn't expect that. I guess I will give him my Shaming, just because I already have my Floatstone. I don't need Shaming. There's energy on my Flareon, so I can actually use Flash Fire on my other Flareon, so I can actually have energy in play. He's going hard right here. He's going for two prizes, so I would assume that one of his... okay, never mind for that. I would assume that one of teammate cards was actually that... I should say probably... Alright, another Shaming X. Probably one of his Escape Ropes. What I will promote right now in my active spot, it's definitely going to be a Flareon EX. Why Flareon? Because I want to have on my Entei actually a Fighting Fury Belt. Okay, so let's first go with a Super Rod. I will even put one of my Shamings back into my deck. After that, I'm going to play my Floatstone and my Trainer's Mail. There is one piece of puzzle, and I might be able to find another piece. So I'm going to play Crushing Hammer, maybe not. Still not sure what is the best thing to do again against Night March. Maybe just Ultra Ball for that Crushing Hammer and that double Chorus energy, I mean, for something like another Flareon. I guess it's better to have Entei because it's non-EX attacker and it will just give your opponent a chance to drop one prize. But we are equal right now, and I just need to find a way to knock out those Shamings on the bench. Yep, I can't knock out Shaming right now, but I just need one Max Elixir. Max Elixir is the card I'm looking for at this moment. Then again, 210. Let's see, there is 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, that's 180. Minus 40, well, it's pretty much the same. It's pretty much the same. 170. Yeah, if I have... Oh, I need to attach something. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness, let's go with the V-Seeker for Lysander. I'm going to lose my turn. Almost I lost my turn right here. Oh my god. Okay. So 130, 170 HP with the Fighting Fury Belt, and if he attacks me, he will does 40 less, so it's like I have 210. HP right here. But then again, if I don't find Max Elixir, I'm in a huge trouble right there. So I need to find Max Elixir, or this is pretty much a bad situation for me. No sign of the Max Elixir, so that's the thing I was scared. At least I had that Crushing Hammer, so that might be a heads. Yes, it is. Okay, I can move that energy to my bench and Flareon. Unfortunately, I didn't hit the... I was not able to find that Max Elixir, so I was not able to knock out my opponent Joltik, but at least I got heads on the Crushing Hammer, so I managed to discard his double Colress energy. So that means that he only had one more double Colress energy left, and two more Puzzle of Times, and it's pretty tricky for him right now to find additional resources. Then again, I'm not going to be able to retreat my ante from the active spot, so there's also a catch for me if I don't have two copies of puzzles. And there's a V-Seeker for the teammates, but unfortunately I didn't knock out anything for my opponent. So that means that he played that V-Seeker for the teammates, but he can't take any cards at this turn. At the next turn, he'd be able to do that. So he decided to roll with the N. What can I get from the N? Two V-Seekers. And to be honest, I don't like that. Oh, it's GG. It's GG, I'm afraid. I'm afraid it's almost like a GG right here, so I'm going to respond with my Scorched Earth. And I'm going to play my Scorched Earth right here for two more extra cards, and there's two Max Elixirs. Alright, first Max Elixir for nothing. The second Max Elixir for one Fire Energy. That Fire Energy is going to be attached to my ante. And after that, I'm going with my Professor Sycamore for 7. I need two copies of puzzles, or I just need Escape Rope to be able to escape from the active spot with my ante. And then again, I'm going to promote my ante. But yeah, I mean, my opponent have that Puzzle of Time and Double Colors priced. I'm not sure if he play anything else, like just a regular basic energies, so he can try to attack somehow. We'll definitely see that. I still have one more Shaman left in my deck, but I guess I don't need it right now. There is one piece of the puzzle. It's always nice to see it. And I'm going with my Flame Screen, so I can reduce the damage for the 40 that my opponent Night March can do. And there's one more Max Elixir, which is definitely a good thing. So having one more Max Elixir in my hand can give me the chance to get one more energy attached to one of my benched Pokemons in play, and I will probably go with my Flareon EX. So, yeah. I mean, it's always bad when you have one of Puzzle of Time or Double Colors Energy prized. I have Lysander in my hand, so I can actually easily take two prize knockout on my opponent Shaman. But before I do that, I need to find a way out to charge my ante. So there's another Max Elixir and there's a energy card. And what I'm going to do right here is I'm going to play my Ultra Ball for one more Shaman EX. I'm still looking for that another Puzzle of Time. And right now, when I know that my opponent does not have anything, I can definitely take risk with playing my Shamans. Oh, there's a Puzzle of Time. So that means that I can actually take any two cards from my discard pile back into my hand. And what I'm going to take is one Fighting Fury Belt and one Double Colors Energy. So one more Fighting Fury Belt and one more... yeah, having one more Fighting Fury Belt can increase the HP that I have. And I will just knock out my opponent Shaman right here with the hit tackle for the 150. We'll take two prizes, and I'm going down to one prize, and there's even heads. So I even didn't take 30 damage back to my ante. So he have a lot of Pokemons in his discard pile, but he don't have the resource to grab pretty much double course energy to attack, and I guess next turn it's pretty much GG. Even if he tries to Lysander some of my Pokemons on the bench just to buy some time, I can actually retreat, so it's not that big deal. But I think that's definitely a GG. So yeah, as you can see, yeah, as expected, there's a just a Lysander on that Shaman and another Pupkabu just benched down, and another Westwick Wind. So that Crushing Hammer actually helps me a lot against Night March, and it's just enough to show you a match where I actually play against Night March and where I actually beat Night March. So yeah, it really doesn't need to talk too much about any other decks. I mean, when you are able to beat Night March with any kind of deck, that means that your deck actually works pretty decent. So once again, there's a full deck list. I hope you guys enjoy watching it. It was definitely 20 minutes, a great match to watch against me playing my Flareon and NTE deck against that Night March player. Yeah, that Crushing Hammer is definitely a big deal. Having that Crushing Hammer in heads and disabling my opponent Joltik to attack and take extra prizes was definitely a big win and big score for me in this matchup, and actually end up by winning this game. So once again, there's a full deck list. Don't forget to hit that like button, share this deck list with your friends. You can actually use it to play, to test. You can do whatever you want with it. And yeah, that's pretty much all. So stay tuned for the more videos in the future. If you already didn't subscribe, please consider to subscribe to my channel to support me. And yeah, that's pretty much all. So see you in the next video. Stay tuned and goodbye.